1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here. Today we're going to be breaking down the classic bluegrass song Rollin' in My Sweet Baby's Arms in the key of A. If you go to any bluegrass jam sessions, you're definitely going to come across this song, and it's a great one to know. I've got two solos for Rollin' in My Sweet Baby's Arms. We're going to start with the absolute basic single note melody, so getting down the melody in its most basic form. And then for the second solo, we're going to add some bluegrass ornaments. So we're going to add some more alternating picking. We're going to add some slides. We're going to get a little further away from the melody. I'm going to break down both solos note for note and then show you a bunch of backup I would do for Rollin' in My Sweet Baby's Arms. So how I play two-finger strumming chords, how I do a couple different types of bluegrass chop chords on this song. I'm going to break it all down right now. And if you're watching the preview of this lesson, you can head over to my website, mikeheadingmusic.com, and grab the full-length lesson. It'll come with all the videos, all the tabs, and all the practice tracks. All right, here's Rollin' in My Sweet Baby's Arms in the key of A. All right, let's start breaking down the basic single note melody to Roll in My Sweet Baby's Arms in the key of A. Let me play the first four measures, then we'll start breaking it down. Here we go. Let's do that a few times. One more time, real slow. Okay, so we're going to start up on the second fret of the D string on beat 2, and measure 1 is going to be our pickup. So we're going to count beat 1, that's going to be a rest, and then we're going to play 3 downstrokes in a row, so you can follow the pick direction below the tab. The staple looking symbols are the downs, the V's are the ups. I've also got the recommended left hand fingering, so the ones in the circles are your index finger, 2 is your middle finger, 3 is your ring finger, and 4 is your pinky. So I'd recommend following my left and right hand fingerings for this lesson. So we're going to take our first finger of our left hand, put it up on the second fret of the D string, play that note, and then play the 4th fret on that same string, and then the open A string. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 3 downstrokes after beat 1. 1. And what I want you to practice too on this lesson and this first pickup is getting that left hand angle correct. So you can hit that open A string while I still got my fingers on the D string, right? You can't be leaning back too much. You want to be able to play notes on the D string while being able to hit the open A string and have that ring out. So really important there. Take a little time, and everyone's hand's a little bit different, so figure out how you have to adjust your hand, your left hand, to get those notes to ring out. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then measure 2, we're going to go up to the 4th fret on the A string with our second finger of our left hand and play that note for a half note, so 2 beats. And then we're going to play it again on beat 3, and then the 2nd fret on the A string. And then we're going to go into the open A string to measure 3. So we have 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're having trouble figuring out how long that half note should ring out, you can play the note twice, play it as quarter notes. So you can figure out how long you have to let that note ring out, and then you can take out the quarter note. What I would also recommend is just counting it out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then again, measure 3, open A string for a half note. 1, 2. And then we're going to go back down to the D string, 4th fret, 2nd fret, and then open A string twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a dotted half note in measure 4, so that gets 3 beats. A dot adds half of the duration, so a half note gets 2 beats plus half, so you get 3 beats total. So a dotted half note is 3 beats, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's play that top line. So 1, it's all melody there, so that's the I ain't gonna work on the railroad part if you're familiar with the lyrics to this song. So 1. And what I recommend also for the single note version is really pick out the notes loud and proud. Make sure you're feeling the back of your mandolin vibrating. You need the notes to hit the back of the mandolin and then shoot out. So if you're not feeling the back of the mandolin vibrating, you're not hitting your strings hard enough. Make sure you're hitting both pairs of strings and getting really good tone there. Now measure 5, first 2 beats are rest. So we'll have to count carefully in measure 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then we're going to put our first finger back on the 2nd fret of the D string and play that note twice. So that's 3, 4. And then measure 6, we have 3 open A strings in a row. Now we just have to get the timing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So beat 2 is a half note. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5 and 6 together. 1, 2. That's good counting practice. If you can count it, you can play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that a few more times. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then measure 7. We're going to put our 2nd finger back on the 4th fret of the A string, play a half note. 1, 2, and then 4 open on the A string. That's 3, 4. And then we got a whole note, 2nd fret of the A string for 4 beats. 3, 4. So really get some solid tone there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, if you're having trouble getting the note duration, play the note 4 times. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, if you can count it, you can play it. So let's play 5 through 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it without me counting along. Here we go. With the single note melody here, the notes aren't very difficult. It's the counting, it's the timing of it. So really important is make sure you get the timing right, otherwise it's not going to sound like the song. So one more time, here's measure 5 through 8. 1, 2. Now measure 9, we got 2 beats rest again, same as measure 5. So let measure 8 ring out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now we're back to our opening pickup. 2nd fret on the D string, 4th fret, and that's on beats 3 and 4. So 3, 4, up to the open A string. 1, 2, 3, 4. So same timing that we did in measure 6. Beat 2 is a half note. 1, 2, 3, and then 2nd fret on the A string for beat 4. So we have now measure 11, 4th fret on the A string for a half note, and then open A string, and then 4th fret on the A for beats 3 and 4. So we have, let's do 10 and 11. Let's do that a few times. Let's do 9, 10, and 11. 1, 2. Now measure 12. Keep your 2nd finger down. Add your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the A string. We're going to play that note twice. So a quarter note followed by a half note. Same timing we've been doing. 1, 1, 2, 3. Open A string on beat 4. So we have... Let's do that a few more times. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then measure 13, we're going to go down to the 4th fret of the D string for a half note. And then 4th fret twice more on beats 3 and 4. So 12 and 13 are kind of like the D lick of this song. So we have... So let's do that a few times. And then we're down to the 2nd fret of the D string for a half note. So 1, 2, and then 2nd fret again, beat 3, open A string. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2nd fret on the A string for a half note. and then keep your first finger down, and then add the 4th fret on the A string, back to the 2nd fret, open A string. Okay, let's play that last line, 13 through 16. So we have. Let's do that a few more times. Here we go. So what I want you to work on in measure 15 is when you add your first finger, now add your 2nd finger without lifting your first finger up. Very common mistake. Don't do that. So keep that one down, and then we can go right back to it. That'd be good practice, just keeping your first finger down and then adding that 4th fret and then lifting it up. We want to resist the urge to do this because we're going right back to that same note. So don't create a lot more extra work for yourself by lifting fingers you don't need to, okay? And it's also going to help you connect the tone. It's going to make your song smoother, whereas if you lift your finger up, it's going to mute the notes, which gives it kind of a choppier sound, which you don't always want. So keep the pressure down, keep those notes smooth. That's really going to help. So that's the whole basic melody. Let's play the whole basic melody. Here we go. 1. So that'd be 1 time through the solo. Let's do it one more time, a little faster. 1. So now let's break down a bluegrass style solo. So how do we take that simple melody and spice it up using slides, using alternating picking? We're going to add a bunch of basic bluegrass ornaments. Let me break that down right now. Here we go. All right, let's take it from measure 17. So this is the start of the bluegrass solo. And remember, everything we played in the first basic single note melody solo was melody, okay? It was the single note melody. So every note we played was a melody note. In the bluegrass style solo, not every note we're going to play is melody. We're going to fill it up with some slides. We're going to fill it up with some alternating picking. We're going to get a little further away from the melody. So that's why it's important to learn the single note melody first, so we know what we've got, and then we know basically what we're creating variations on. It's very easy to get confused and learn a more advanced solo. I know I made this mistake when I first started. I would learn an advanced solo of a song, but I wasn't fully aware of what the single note basic melody was. So I didn't know where to create my variations because I didn't know what was melody and what was fill, basically. So that's why it's really important to learn the single note melody first, because then you can build on top of that and you can still hear the melody within your variations, okay? So let's play measure 17 into the beginning of 21, and then we'll start breaking it down. Here we go. Let's do that a few times. One more, a little slower. Okay, so we're going to start with a similar pickup. We're just going to add a little more alternating picking. So we're going to start on beat 2 again on the 2nd fret of the D string. Play that note on beat 2. And then instead of playing the 4th fret on its own with a quarter note, we're going to play down up, 2nd fret, 4th fret. So now we have down, down, up. This is going to be our first upstroke in this song, so. And then open A string. So again, we just add a little more picking. That's all we did there. So now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beat 1 is a rest. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, if you can count it, you can play it. So. And then you can see I start getting into position. I'm going to move back this way so I can free up my 2nd finger to slide from 2 to 4 on the A string. I'm going to slide, and then I'm going to start doing down up picking, and then I'm going to land on the 2nd fret on beat 4. So I slide up 1, and I do 4 down ups, and then back to the 2nd fret. And why am I using my 2nd finger to slide up? Because that's the correct finger I want to use when I get up there. So now I'm in position rather than using my 1st finger or something that would shift me out of position. So again, that's why I'm working backwards. I know that I need my 2nd finger up on that 4, so then now I make the adjustment here, and now I'm ready to go. So slide up, don't slide too fast. 1 and then you're going to do down up. So compare that to measure 2. Instead of doing, now we have, so we just filled it up with more picking and a slide.